Hey guys, so to try and alleviate the whole lighting problem, I thought I'd do a video where I was on the floor. My cat made that a little bit difficult. But anyway, so I compromised. I'm on my car bed couch now. All is well. I feel like the cat is going to be in all of my videos now because he does things like this. You're stealing my thunder, you furry little bastard. Anyways, so there were a couple things that I wanted to talk about today. None of them having to do with current events. We're gonna talk about me. No. So I'm just gonna jump right on in there. I get a lot of comments just because I show up at conventions and I am painted green and I'm wearing a bikini. People say, "Wow, you must have so much confidence to be able to do that." Surprise! I don't actually. I've been working on self-confidence for a long time, and I actually find it's easier to show up somewhere when you're painted in green paint in a community that's a lot more welcoming, like a Star Trek convention or a Comic Con. I find it a lot easier actually than showing up to a normal social event not painted green. So that is something that I work on. So it's not like I feel like I'm this super confident person that can just show up at these things. So it does take time. So if you're like me and you're often unsure of yourself and you're not as confident as you would like to be, give it time. Wait till you find a community where you can be yourself and be fine about it, and it'll get better from there. So while we're talking about some of my shortcomings, um, the other thing that I make jokes about all the time is my inability to do math. And a lot of people ask why I'm not very good at it. I've worked at it my whole life. It's been a struggle since elementary school. I guess the logic center in my brain never developed properly. So with logic puzzles, math, drawing my own conclusions as far as formulas and stuff, it's a very foregone concept to try and explain to me. So I learn through memorization, and I'm very creative. So the creative part of my brain actually is a bit stronger than average, whereas the logic side is a bit weaker. So that is why I do not so well in math, but excel in political science and writing and that kind of creative part of my life. Which brings me to a really important point. There is a difference between being limited by your limitations and working around them. In a perfect world, I would be in astrophysics and I would love it and be able to do it and it would be awesome. But in reality, I know that that's not something that I can ever get to. So instead, I'm able to express my creativity and passion for astrophysics through other things like Star Trek and writing and just reading astronomy textbooks. So you always have to remember that for every door that's closed, another one opens. So if there's something you love that you can't quite reach, see if you can figure out a way to reach it, and it'll make your life better. And that brings me to kind of the one criticism that I had in Star Trek. It seemed like there was such a position for people with mathematical knowledge and scientific knowledge, but there weren't a lot of people who existed outside of kind of the science realms. Sorry, a really nice Corvette Z06 just drove by. For example, in Next Gen, we had Deanna Troi, who was a counselor, and all of the other characters were always involved in some sort of arts, whether it was Picard had his music, Riker had his music, uh, Data kind of learned to paint, but there was no specific focus or really any episode, I think, that I can think of that explored the more creative side of humanity's future. Where are our artists? Where are our musicians? All the music that they listened to was Beethoven or Bach, so it was old music. You never really heard that kind of influx other than occasionally now and then a Starfleet officer would be a part of a band at an event. So I really would have liked to see a bit more exploration of the creative side of Star Trek. Where are artists and musicians and poets and writers in that generation? Ideally, if I were to exist in that time, I think my position would probably be an ambassador to another planet or species. I think that would probably be one of the more social, and I'm assuming that you would go through Starfleet to complete that process of becoming an ambassador. That said, Picard was an ambassador of Vulcan, but he was a captain and he went through Starfleet through science. So, that's something that I'd kind of like to explore a little deeper. What are you guys' thoughts on it? So what did you guys think of the radio program last week? If you guys listened on Blade Radio and Trek Radio, it was awesome. I got to be with the Tribbles and Ecstasy guys, and we hung out. We did some question and answer. We did some discussion. We did some debate. It was really fun, and it's cool to know that there's a huge community of Star Trek fans out there who are all just as interconnected as all the YouTubers. So that was really fun. So just kind of a quick inspirational slash discussion kind of video today. Let me know what you think about that Star Trek question. So remember, don't give up, find a different way to do things, be confident, do what you can. If you're worried about your confidence, find somewhere that you fit in, and I promise you it will grow. Live long and prosper. You really don't care about anything, do you?